Select that one all the way. Yeah?
Yeah, there we go.
Is that working now? Give it time. Oof.
Whoa. Alright, we did it. Okay, great.
We did it, Mom.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright, let's try this again, guys.
Try?
Try it.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, we did it.
There we go. Now we'll probably have to go delete like the first 5 minutes of our YouTube stream.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Technical difficulties.
But it's okay.
Period.
It's okay, guys. First off, we're happy to be back again.
Yeah.
Again.
Holidays kind of...
Holidays are terrible.
They get in the way.
Yeah, like, can we just actually just get rid of Christmas altogether?
I don't know about getting rid of it. Can we just get rid of, like, the retail, like, smash us in the face?
Right, no. The easiest way to do that is just get rid of Christmas, right? Because, I mean, we have the good part of Christmas is, like, eating food, and we have that with Thanksgiving. So we don't actually need Christmas.
How about we restructure it to where it, like, it's Thanksgiving, then a week later Christmas, and then New Year's.
Boom, just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, like
right.
the last 3 weeks.
Instead of like drawing it out in like 2 months, because like Thanksgiving is prepping for like all of November is prepping for Thanksgiving, and then like from the week before Thanksgiving, it's just Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
So like I like that. They just boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're done.
Just go.
And then we're in the new year.
And then all of your December is just preparing for those 2 holidays, and then you're done.
Yeah. And then, like, you don't have to worry about backing stuff up in November and seeing family for the holidays ×2. Because really, no one wants to see the in-laws 2 times within a 2-month span.
Why just the in-laws? Why not regular family?
I mean, look, not fond of my family.
I don't know.
I think we're getting a little off topic here.
Anyways, so, to Magic.
Back to the important. This is why you guys will watch us.
Yes, so last weekend there were 3 major events.
Very large events, all of them primarily being standard.
2 Grand Prix, and then you had the Star City Games Invitational, the last one of the year. Well, their year.
Sad face.
What? That you didn't get to go?
Yeah.
That you didn't qualify?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I've been preoccupied. I haven't been able to play that many IQs.
Yep. So we'll just go ahead and throw this in there. Congratulations to the boss Ross.
Tom the Boss Ross getting Player of the Year
for Star City Games, because, you know, when he dominates, what, like, 2 opens back-to-back, a 3rd open, not just standard, but standard and modern.
Yeah.
Whatever. Plus, didn't he win, like, the previous 2 Player of the Years?
I think he's been Player of the Year for a few years now.
Yeah, he is the man to beat, evidently, for consistency throughout the year.
I mean, he's a very skilled player. He knows what he's doing. He brews pretty successful decks from what we've seen, you know, Red-White Humans back whenever the Human Wave came out in Shadows over Innistrad.
Yep.
And then he's also been bringing kind of a new twist to the Tron meta, making the white-green Tron list and Modern, and said he was going to do very well with that, and he did what he said he was going to do.
I mean, he's not just an aggro player. He can play it all. I mean, and even during, like, Standard, like, there was a few times where, like, when towards the tail end of Eldritch Moon, I think, like, he started to shift away from humans, and, like, he was doing, like, Grixis Emerge.
Right.
And stuff like, or maybe not Grixis, but Temur Emerge.
Right.
And having some success with that as well. So, again, very versatile player. He's not just, you know, a one-deck man. He can play multiple decks in multiple formats.
Yeah, and, you know, this coming from a gentleman who, he plays, you know, he plays Infect. And Infect is top tier, but it's also one of the most skill-intensive decks out in the meta right now. A lot of people have been talking about this. Infect is just a monster to deal with in the meta, both in Modern and in Legacy.
It's like Infect and Dredge is pretty much where, like, well, am I going to die turn 3 and turn 4? Let's find out.
And Tom Ross is very consistent on his games with Infect, both in Legacy and in Modern. He's super familiar with the deck. He's put a lot of time into it, and he executes the deck pretty flawlessly.
Yep.
So clearly knows what he's doing. So again, congrats to him. Great player.
Yeah, at the Invitational, he finally pulled a huge lead on Hoogland. Because they were both kind of like in contention for the longest time, and then he finally just
he's like, you know what, I'm taking this.
Yeah, this is mine now.
Yeah.
Finally dethroning Hoogland from the top spot for most of the year, and then especially with those back-to-back wins, he pretty much was like, yeah, we're making this a race, and now it pulled ahead.
Yeah.
So,
moving on to the main topic of the SCG Invitational, the top 8.
Yep.
We had a lot of fun lists there. We had a couple of green-red Aetherwork lists. We had one black-green Delirium deck. Only one. And we're going to make a side note here. There's only one black-green Delirium deck in all 3 events tops 8. Like, this is the only one out of all 3 events.
No blue-white flash in this one.
There was a black-green aggro deck.
Yep.
There was an Esper aggro list, but really it's just white-black aggro with a splash of blue for...
No, white-blue.
Yeah, it's white-blue.
The black is for Scrap Heap.
Yeah, so white-blue with a... For the Scrap Heap, I don't really know if it's worth calling it Esper at that point. But, you know, I don't make the deck list name. Apparently we have a hedgehog on the stream now.
My dog said, here is my hedgehog toy. Put it on the camera.
Really, I kind of want to give a shout out to Aetherworks here. Aetherworks has taken up about 50%. I
called this when everybody was like, standard is solved. It's nothing but black Delirium and blue-white flash. I was like, well, guess what? Aetherworks Marvels is going to come back because I read an article a couple weeks ago, and I think it explained it perfectly. It was from, I think, Adam on TCG Player, I believe.
Okay.
And it was the rock, paper, scissors scenario. And so you had Aetherworks Marvel. Then Blue-White Flash came along and said, rawr. Well, let's say Aetherworks Marvel's paper. Flash came in and said, I'm scissors. I'm going to beat the snot out of you. And then so you got scissors dominating. And then Black-Green Delirium comes on and says, I'm going to smash you. Rawr.
This is a very great
analogy.
We got
and guess what? Aetherworks Marvel beats Black-Green Delirium because Black-Green Delirium does not interact on that axis.
These are great rock paper scissors analogies here because
rawr.
We're not
rawr. So essentially, this is what started to happen with Blue-White Flash and Black-Green Delirium. All of a sudden, you know, I don't know, Diamond Tip scissors to cut the rock. And Blue-White Flash changed to beat Black-Green Delirium, and then therefore Aetherworks Marvel was just like, you know what, I'm just going to sit here for a second. Okay.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
it's a deck that you have to assign certain answers for. I feel like it's a glass cannon deck, just like Red Green Energy, that you could just put in a few cards and you're just like, well, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you off your game plan for a while. Let me do my thing.
For the Invitational alone, there were 5 Aetherwork decks. 5. There were 2 Naya Aetherworks, 1 Teamer, and 2 green-red.
Side note for the Naya ones. One of them, it's green-red. The only white card in the deck is Sigarda. And I think the the one that got first place had 1 main board, 1 side. The one that got second had 2 inside and a plane.
Just proves you have to have the Sigarda in the main board. That's what it proves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
clearly, player A knew what was going on. He's like,
I gotta have that expert.
The one Sigarda.
I gotta have that
I got you.
So you can't take my turn with the Emrakul.
Yeah. Yeah. He's prepared for the mirror match.
That's why I won.
Main board. Yeah.
That's why I won.
So
yeah. The black-green aggro, it looked a lot like it had a lot of the key cards that Black-green Delirium does. Ran some Scrap Heaps and Virtuous Gear Hulks.
Yeah.
But definitely had the Grim Flayers, Mindwreck Demons, Lilianas, and stuff like that.
Which seems a little bit more
damage. And
seems a little bit more mid-rangey to me than aggro. To be completely honest with you, like you're looking at Ishkana, that's a 5-drop. You're looking at Mindwreck, that's a 4-drop. You're looking at these other...
Like, Grim Flayer and your Scrap Heaps are the ones getting in there early.
Sure.
And Scrap Heap, it does double duty. It's a 3/2 on the board, but then it has double creature count if you kill it for Delirium.
I guess, that's fair.
So, I mean, there you go.
Just seems a little bit counterproductive, in my opinion.
It put up the numbers, okay?
I mean, clearly it is in the top 8. top 4, and I cannot argue with those numbers.
Yep.
And then we had a Black Green Delirium list, pretty standard.
Yeah.
It's just whatever.
I'm surprised the top 8 amongst all of those Aetherwork Marble decks.
Yeah. To be completely fair, props to the Delirium player. But honestly, in my opinion, Black Green Delirium is a good deck, don't get me wrong, but I think that there are so many better options in the meta to be playing that I'm not a huge fan of the list.
It just seems like to me what we're seeing in Standard is like bandwagon effect.
Sure.
If you want to do well at an event, you have to be ahead of the curve. These guys were, compared to, say, all the people that were still playing Blue White Flash and Green Black Delirium.
Sure.
I mean,
now the argument there can be said that, to buy, an expensive deck like Black Green Delirium, because Black Green Delirium is a little bit pricey right now. You're looking at Emrakuls, you're looking at Grim Flayers, you're looking at
Lilianas,
Ishkanas, Lilianas. Lilianas are like 45 apiece right now, which is pushing Modern price, in my opinion, and it's because she's being played in Modern right now that I think she's that high.
I mean, but then your Emrakul's sitting pretty high too.
Emrakul's sitting around 15-20 as well right now. So you're looking at a lot of expensive cards in Black Green Delirium, and then you're looking at having to build like another list to try to stay ahead of the curve. But you don't really want to get rid of Black Green Delirium because everyone might shift again, and then Black Green Delirium will come out on top.
And plus, I mean, you're looking at a new set coming out in the new month, and it looks like it's getting some nice toys.
It's getting a lot of nice toys, and we're going to be talking about that pretty soon, actually.
So, yeah, there's that. And I know there were some talks about possibly doing like a standard banning just because standard was too narrow. And then you see this, and then the metagame is so diverse now.
I don't think banning anything in standard is going to help anything except piss off players. It's going to make the player base very agitated. And to be completely honest, this is the most dynamic we've seen a format in standard for a while now. Kaladesh brought a lot of flexibility to standard, and we're just now seeing the full effect of this. We saw a tournament, I think, a couple months ago when the top 8 was every single deck in the top 8 was a different deck.
Yeah.
And that's because of Kaladesh. It has brought the inventing aspect, pun intended, I guess, because
the thing is, it's like if you compare it to previous bannings before, the last ban we had was Stoneforge and Jace.
Yeah.
That's because, like, what, 90% of the field?
90%.
I don't know if it was 90%.
That's a bit exaggerated, but a very large portion of the field was being dominated by
just
these
by
two.
one deck.
Yeah.
It was one deck.
Yeah.
It was one deck, and there was a dip in standard attendance because of that. Yeah. Because people were like, standard's not fun anymore, we're not going to play Magic.
I mean, Stoneforge, Batter Skull, let's go.
Yeah. Callblade, go. But, and now, I mean, I've heard reports that standard numbers are dropping.
I disagree.
I disagree. But at the same time, though, the meta is not dominated by one deck.
Yeah.
It was dominated by 2 for a period of time, but even still, what card would you pick to ban out of that deck? And I've heard Smuggler's Copter name, but Smuggler's Copter is enabling so many other side decks that you're not crippling. I don't think you cripple Blue White Flash by taking out Smuggler's Copter.
No,
you cripple Red Black Zombies, which top-aided another deck.
You cripple vehicles. Vehicles relies on Smuggler's Copter and a couple of the other small vehicles that they run,
like Sky Sovereign and
Cultivator's Caravan.
Yeah,
but like
by taking out Smuggler's Copter, like I said, you end up restricting the meta, not diversifying it.
I agree.
As far as Green Black Delirium goes, I mean, what do you ban? Like
Emrakul? Do you ban the whole principle of Eldritch Moon being released? Like, because that seems to be the major problem here, and I think that's why we see, the blue card that got spoiled in Aether Revolt that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. Emrakul is pretty dominating in the format. Every deck, basically, that is top tier is running Emrakul, at least as a one-of. Marvel plays Emrakuls. Green Black Delirium plays Emrakuls. Blue White Flash doesn't really play Emrakuls, but they play Brazella.
I mean, they at least have answers. They have answers for it.
Yeah. So
I mean, you at least have to respect the threat. But I mean, there's enough build up there to where you can answer an Emrakul.
Sure.
I mean, if Emrakul hits a board, you're probably gonna lose that game.
Right.
But I mean, it's
answerable. You've got summary dismissal.
Yeah, and unsubstantiated. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, you could counter the Emrakul when they take your turn. You could set yourself up to where them taking your turn does absolutely squat to you.
Sure.
Otherwise, you could do it to where them taking your turn absolutely decimates you, and you deserve to pay that price if you get to that point and not have the answer.
Kind of goes back on the Splinter Twin discussion of, yes, the deck is being played. Yes, you're going to see it at a tournament. If you are stupid enough to not be prepared for it, that's your fault, not the opponent's fault or the deck's fault.
Yeah, and I feel like these decks are beatable by other decks. It's just it's again the bandwagoner effect. Like people are just like, oh man, this deck's really good. I want to win. If I play that deck, I'll win.
Clearly, a pro is playing this deck, so I should be playing this deck.
Exactly.
And that's my problem with the pro level of Magic, I guess.
It's great that they have that much influence and pull over their community because they're actually one being rewarded for all the time and money they've invested into the game.
Of course.
But at the same time, though, hero worship or just discrediting other ideas or trying to diversify the meta.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, I think brewing it the meta is responsible for the community at large, not Wizards. Like, Wizard needs to police it if it's affecting their bottom line. But it's not. It's, I personally hate playing the top deck. I hate it. And so far, every time I've played the top deck,
he gets smashed.
It betrays me. It goes, oh, yeah, band company? Yeah, you're not going to see a collected company. And when you do, you whiff. It's great. And plus, it's just not fun. That kind of Magic is not fun for me. For me, it's trying to figure out a way to beat those decks with my own original idea, or maybe at least tweaking
a fringe deck.
Yeah, fringe and road decks,
like planeswalkers, doubling walkers,
Panharmicon decks.
All right,
hey, as much you want to shake your head at Panharmicon, Seth Manfield, top 8.
All right,
blue white Panharmicon,
keeping the train going. We had 2 other big events this past weekend, both of them being standard as well.
Yep.
We're going to talk about GP Madrid first.
Because its top 8 looks a little similar to the Invitational, with 4 Aetherworks decks.
However, very excited to see the deck that won first place.
Was Aetherworks.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, Wizards doesn't like putting theirs in order, but I know that one. That was definitely an Aetherworks win. But at least we did see Black Red Zombies. I knew that deck was really good whenever I played against it online. I hate playing against it online because that's about all I played against.
It's a super fun deck. Super fun.
Yeah.
I've seen it being played.
Yeah. Honestly, I just hate it. Well, like, okay, I'm in a position to, dominate the board and win the game. They somehow get Voldaren Pariah out for 3 fucking mana. They have already 4 tokens on board, and they've obliterated my board.
Yeah.
It's just like, I tried so hard.
And
I was going to win the game next turn, and then you
tried so hard, you didn't get very far, and in the end, it really did not matter. Trademark. Linkin Park. This is their credit, so we don't get sued.
Somebody's looting his mythical dead. What else was on there? There were 2 blue-white flash, black-red aggro.
And then Aetherworks. Red-green, 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 red-green.
Yeah, it was red-green across the board. No Sigardas there.
No, they were like, Sigarda? What's a Sigarda?
I'm just gonna Emrakul and Ulamog all day.
We're just gonna smash faces. So, yeah, I think that Madrid we saw the same thing like we saw at the Invitational. We got to see the Aetherworks domination.
And I had been saying for weeks now, you know what? Aetherworks Marvel's going to make a rise. Just too late.
He was gloating in our team chat the day that it was announced who won the GPs.
Yeah. Well, when I saw the Madrid, I was like, guys, look. Oh, Invitational? Oh, look on that. Yeah. Called it.
right.
I'm getting better at predicting this meta bull crap.
I don't want to talk too much more about Madrid. It's kind of a repeat of what we saw at the Invitational. There wasn't really anything super special about it, except another Aetherworks deck won.
At least GP Denver was a little bit more diverse.
Yeah, we got to see a little bit more decks there.
Two Aetherworks.
Yeah.
Blue-White Flash. Blue-White Pamparmacon made top 8. Seth Manfield. That list is fantastic.
Blue-Red Zombie emerge.
Yes. That one's pretty much the standard fare with Prized Amalgams, Haunted Dead. Let me bring out Defiend.
Yeah. And Mardu Vehicles won that one.
Yeah. And there was a Red-White aggro. But Mardu Vehicles did take the top spot. I
think, personally...
I mean, it's a good deck.
I agree. I think Mardu, in general, is a fantastic color scheme right now. I will swear up and down by it.
It just has the best removal.
It has best removal.
In a creature-heavy format like this is, and like Magic's been for... since Cons, really, it feels like. Maybe even Theros, because... no, there's some control decks in Theros. But like Cons, especially with like Siege Rhino and stuff like that, where it was, let me jam value creatures down your throat all day.
Yeah.
You know, removal's at a premium more now than ever. And this is why I like playing creatureless decks, because you have dead cards.
I will say this.
But
we've been playing around with the Mardu Walker's list.
So we had that Jeskai Walker's list
a long time ago. You guys remember that?
Yeah, we updated it to go Mardu since we lost Narset.
And it's super fun now.
Well, I mean, we just run Chandra, Nahiri, Gideon,
Obvious,
Lily.
Yeah, all the walkers.
We don't need no Oath.
Nope.
But again, the main thing is just removal. Planeswalker. Removal. Win the game with Emrakul. Ulamog.
Whoa.
Flying Spade monsters.
Basically, from playtesting, it's a lot of fun. It can keep up with the meta for the most part. It has a decent matchup against Black-Green Delirium. It has a great matchup against the Mardu Vehicles.
Because all them exile effects, bro.
It has great matchup against Black-White and Red-White and Mardu aggro lists from what we did in playtesting. We also took it to a PPTQ, and it did fairly well in the matches that it won. And even in the matches it lost, it still performed fairly well. There were some couple of player errors made on my part because I hadn't played Standard in a while.
Yeah, and then we threw together that deck that morning.
Yeah, we threw it together in about 20 minutes. We took it to an event. It still performed fairly well.
And we made a sideboard here, earlier, yeah, we'll bring in Transgressors. And then we just forgot to put the Transgressors in the sideboard.
So Transgress the Minds never made it into the sideboard. Therefore, we lost a lot of matchups that we would have won if we had Transgress. So, all in all...
Lost Legacy is a great card, though.
We have made some adjustments to it. The list is performing really well. Our team member, Jeremy, he has been goldfishing this deck, and he's been loving it. He's been having a lot of fun with the list, and we have a big event coming up pretty soon that he's excited for.
Yep.
All in all, I think Mardu is just a fantastic color scheme, whether it be in an aggro list, a control list, a mid-range list. I think if you want something that's just going to cover all of your bases and all across the board, I think Mardu is kind of the way to get right now.
Well, I mean, the benefit of going Mardu is there's a lot of support for early game, and there's a lot of support for control with removal.
Sure.
Honestly, the only thing that scares me about the deck is Aetherworks Marvel decks, the thing I've been talking about for weeks now. I'm like, this is a thing you have to be worried about. And the deck, I don't think, has really an answer for, at least not main board.
Yeah, I mean, we have Lost Legacies, we have Transgress the Minds, we have stuff like that that can, game 2, game 3, we can snatch the Aetherwork Marvels, we can call out Emrakul. We can try to be on the aggressive side of things, or the reactive/aggressive side of things, and just try to remove these threats before we have to deal with them.
Yep.
I agree that there are some parts of the deck that do scare me about the Marvel matchup. I think all in all, though, we've got a pretty decent matchup. It's going to be about 60-40 in their favor, I think.
I think it comes down to is if they slam the Marvel down and they activate it and they hit Emrakul or Ulamog.
If they can activate the Marvel on the turn it comes down,
Yeah.
that's rough for us. If we can fragmentize it or something like that, I think we're in great shape. Or Nahiri it, I think we're good.
Yeah, I mean that's the benefit. It's like we have plenty of artifact. It's just there's no way to stop the transition of from when it hits the board and them having a chance to activate it if they have the energy to activate it.
I agree. Sure.
That's the problem. And I mean that is a certain concern. That may be the worst matchup the deck has. And that may be a good thing, depending on how many of those decks are floating around the meta. We may just see this constant cycle of like the meta dominating being blue, white, flash, green, black, delirium, Aetherworks, marble until
we hit Aether Revolt in January. I think it's it's not out of the question to see that happen. I think Aether Revolt is going to make some pretty big changes as far as blue-black is concerned. We've not seen the actual official Tezzeret. We've seen the spoiled Planeswalker deck Tezzeret, and even that's actually a pretty good card in and of itself. I don't know if it's necessarily standard playable, but it's definitely playable in like fun formats like Commander and stuff. I'm really excited to see what they do about this Tezzeret, and excited to see if Nico Bolas finds his way to Kaladesh as well as being printed in Amonkhet.
Well, I mean, there is that one card that got spoiled, Dark Imitations.
That
mentions a Bolas Planeswalker.
Exactly.
However, we've already seen our 2 Planeswalkers for this set.
We've had a history of having 3 Planeswalkers this set. We had Dovin, we had Dovin Bond, we had Chandra.
We have 6 a block, 4 in the first set, 2 in the second.
I don't know.
I mean, let's go back to battle. Okay, we had Gideon, Ob.
Chandra? No, she was Oath.
Gideon, Ob. Kiora.
Okay.
I want to say there was a 4th, but I may be wrong.
No.
But then Chandra and Nissa, seconds in Oath.
Right.
But Shadows, we had 4 in the first set.
We had Jace, we had Sorin, we had Tamio? No, yeah. Tamio was Eldritch Moon. We had
Nahiri and Arlen.
Okay, and then we had Tamio and
Lily.
Okay.
That's your 6 walkers.
Okay.
So I have a feeling I don't think they're going to jam 7 planeswalkers into this set because we've already had 4.
Sure.
I think we're going to get a Johnny, and we're going to get Tezzeret.
And I think Tezzeret's definitely here. The Johnny's definitely here. We know those for a fact.
And I mean, like, I could see them saying Bolas Planeswalker card just to tie it into.
It just seems a little bit jumping the gun to me. I honestly feel that why would you print something in a set, especially to a new player, right? Like, if you're printing a card that has a reference to a set that is coming in the future or makes references to the past, for a new player, they're not going to get that.
Yeah, but it's such a negligible effect, too, though. It says if you play a Bolas Planeswalker card, you can exile it and put an additional loyalty counter on it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, the rest, like, that's all that does. Like, the rest of the card has a much huger effect.
I agree.
I mean, it's almost like Cruel Ultimatum all over again. Almost.
It's a cheaper Cruel Ultimatum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite as devastating, but it does have a nice board. I think it's a really good commander card.
I think it's a good commander card.
Each player sacrifices a creature, or each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. So it's
I thought it was creature and planeswalker.
Or.
Is it or? Okay.
So it's good against control decks. And then you get back one or the other, I think.
Okay.
From graveyard. But anyways,
that's okay.
Anyways, I think what's more concerning is Green Black Valerian's getting access to the Shahini's Embrace, or Expertise.
Yeah.
That card looked stupid. 4-drop for -3/-3 to all creatures. Then you may cast any spell with CMC 3 or less for free.
So let's talk about this for a second. We have, we have to be a little bit cautious on how they do this, right? So the spell that you cast a spell from your hand first, because whenever you cast the first spell, you get to play one. I don't think it's whenever you're...
No. As you're resolving that spell, you then cast the other one. So you do the -3/-3.
Okay, so the -3/-3 does come out first?
Yeah, because that's first on the text box.
Okay.
Then you cast.
Right.
So
Grimflayer, Liliana, Flaying Tendrils?
Or hell, I mean, here's the thing. Yahini's Embrace does not touch a lot of the core of Green-Black Delirium. Like, it gets rid of your spider tokens, doesn't get rid of a Delirium active Grimflare, doesn't get rid of Ishkanah,
No.
doesn't get rid of any of, like, the other creatures that deck runs.
Sure. I think...
I mean, if you really want to, you could be annoying and, you know, you say, yeah, everything gets -5/-5, exile it.
Yeah.
That's great for control.
I think that's really good. I think that combination will probably find its way into our Mario list.
What would be even more interesting is if you're running a tokens list and you go Yohenni's Expertise, Zulaport Cutthroat. Because the Zulaport will come in after the -3/-3, but it still sees all the death triggers. Because those creatures don't die until that spell's finally resolved.
Are we trying to bring back
Aristocrats?
Aristocrats? Because if that's the case, let's not. Let's just not say we didn't.
I'm just saying, that's an interesting concept, is that you could put the creature in there, it's fine, everything else dies.
Let's just not, Mike. Let's not talk
I'm
about
just
that.
Brewer's potential there. But, like, I feel like the power level of this card is way too stupid for a rare.
Yeah.
Not mythic, rare. It's the game day promo on top of that.
I think this card is Languish all over again. Languish was a very good card, very powerful. Saw a little bit of play in Modern, just because it hit a lot of the meta in Modern and was cheaper than Damnation.
A lot cheaper than
Not to mention, you got through Indestructible with neg counters. So
well, that or particularly your stuff could live. Like, if you were playing Jund, and you're like, I have a big enough Goyf, screw your board, okay, and next turn I'll swing.
Yeah, I agree. I think this card is just a quote-unquote bad Languish, as everyone's calling it. I think this card is
better language. Like, it's not on the same axis of Languish. Like, yes, they're both mass removal spells.
They
but at the
both
same time,
drop.
this does something stupider on the side.
They're both 4-drop sorcery spells. They both give minuses. This one just did -4/-4. The new one does -3/-3 plus
Another spell.
Yeah.
Plus a spell.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it has to be in your hand, but
I mean,
who cares?
But if you're building your list around this, like, let's be completely honest here. Green-Black Delirium has so many spells like they can cast off of this. They can cast Traverse the Uvenwald. They can cast Vessel. They can cast Vessel, Liliana, Grimflare. I think there's a couple other cards that I'm missing.
Grasp. I mean, if they really want, if like there's something that's like a 7/7-ish or out of the range of that,
Sure.
you could easily grasp it.
Yeah, like,
or you can play a draw spell.
Yeah.
You can play like Live Fast.
There you go. That's an idea. So there's a lot of opportunity. Like -3/-3 to the board. I draw 2 cards, gain 2 energy. That card becomes insane. If that was a card, yes, I will take that 4 of playset.
Yeah, screw Glimmer. I don't care.
Yeah. So I think that this card has a lot of potential. I don't think that this is a bad Languish at all. I think players.
This card is broken.
I think
this is the
players
one
are not
card I
getting
consider
enough credit.
broken. And a lot of people have been talking the new vehicle.
I think the new vehicle is pretty good. I'm
I
not
think
gonna
it's
lie.
good.
I think it's pretty
broken.
good.
I don't think it's broken.
It's not broken because, like,
There's a huge risk involved.
Yeah, I mean, you're using loyalty to crew it.
And then alternatively, it's not Smother's Copter. Like, not every deck's going to be able to jam this in, because not every deck's going to have 3 power or a Planeswalker to crew it like that early.
But the fact is, it's a 2-drop, man. Like, oh my gosh.
It's a 2-drop. It dies to Fragmentize. It dies to Natural State.
That's like saying a Smuggler's Copter dies to Fragmentize. It's still a fucking amazing card, and you jam it into everything.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's legendary, so it's not like you could afford to run a full 4. I mean, maybe you could, but...
But it also has Vigilance, Mike. It has Vigilance!
That means
it's
you're going to
a
have...
4/4 with Vigi.
That's 2 Planeswalkers or 2 creatures with power 3 or greater.
Look, you're thinking way too inside the box.
No, I'm thinking why I don't like vehicles and how most players misread board states because they're like, oh man, there's 4 dudes on there. No, it's actually like only 2 dudes because 2 of them are vehicles. And you know what? They can't even really crew both of them because they only have like 2 power total.
No, man, I'm going to use this guy to crew the vehicle, and that vehicle is going to crew the other vehicle.
The copter's going to get inside the heart of Kieran.
Yeah.
See, that's the reason why the copter was so good. Is it's a crew one. You could crew it with about anything. Like Nissa's plant token is like the only thing that can't crew it. A wall can't crew it.
I mean, actually, some walls can crew it.
Yeah, some walls can, but like the ones you see in standard.
Sure.
Um,
I'm gonna give my wall fire breathing.
but you know, Thraben Inspector, like one of the best one drops in standard right now.
I agree.
Yeah, can crew. You know, let me drop that down.
Westville Abbey tokens. Just make a Westville Abbey token, crew it, block. There you go.
I'm just
Pay a
saying,
life to block and kill a creature. Seems good.
and loot.
And loot.
That's the reason why Smuggler's Copter is so good, was because it was cheap and the crew cost was so low, and its ability was stupid. So you could jam it in any deck. Heart of Kieran, though, I think is a little bit more selective. Like, you either have to have Planeswalkers, or a big enough power on a low enough curve, which I think only Mardu vehicles can really pull off.
So here, I bet, I just kind of thought of something. This begs the question, do we see a rise in another green-white token list? With this card, with Heart of Kieran, and Smuggler's Copter, and Nissa, and Gideon's, and I think there's another token producer out there right now. Do we see a rise with Fabricate and all that? Do we see a token list kind of adapt these two vehicles that are so powerful with the uses of Nissa and Gideon and bring back that green-white menace that also generates a lot of power of the board state?
I can easily see Heart of Kieran with Gideon because it gets stupid.
Sure.
And I explained this to somebody else, and their eyes just went, whoop. I was like, you can uptick Gideon, remove the counter to crew the vehicle, and swing for 9.
Yeah.
And then on defense, remove the counter from Gideon to crew the vehicle again.
Sure.
So, I mean, because Gideon's not a planeswalker you really ever ult.
Yeah.
Unless it's just like, you know what, my board state's getting obliterated every 2 seconds. Let me make sure they don't get burned immediately.
Not to mention, like, okay, think of the curve, right? So if you hit, like, turn 2, you hit Copter or Kieran, right? Mm-hmm. Turn 3, you hit Nissa. Turn 4, you hit Gideon. Like, that power state of board is just terrifying.
I mean, especially with Nissa, you could just make a token there. You have an additional blocker. Sure. Yeah, I can't crew anything, but whatever.
Yeah, now it's going to defend my Gideon.
Yeah. Or even funnier is like you
activate Gideon, remove a counter, activate Kieran, down tick Nissa, put a 1/1 counter, smash it in for 11.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
And now my Kieran is a 5/5 with Vigian flying.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll take this.
Yeah, like I think Gideon's like the best planeswalker to use this Heart of Kieran with.
I
don't think there's like your Liliana. You can. I don't think you want to because your Liliana ult game winner.
Yeah.
Sorin maybe. But at that point, you need
6 mana. Yeah, it's just so rough at that point.
I think if you have a planeswalker list, then you can afford to go this Heart of Kieran, and then maybe you like.
I hate
too many of the other planeswalkers have really good ults that are your game winners. You have to look at ones like Gideon or Nissa.
Dovin Bond, yeah. Like, if you can get to Dovin Bond, great. Like
or maybe even Saheeli Rai.
That might actually bring some Saheeli players into the format. I mean, that's a 3-drop. She's not.
And I mean, if you get to the point of ulting her, you better be playing a combo deck. But that's a really late
copter.
That's a really late combo.
Yeah.
Like to get 3. Like now, maybe there's 3 artifacts in Aether Revolt or a combination of Aether Revolt and Kaladesh that it's like, boom! I've got my combo now.
Let's go.
You're done. I'm still waiting for like an artifact that's like it says autopilot or something like that, and it's like use this to crew vehicles. That's all it does.
I'm actually really tempted. As much as we hate,
or reduce cruise costs by blah blah blah.
As much as we have talked about the just distaste for green-white anything, I am honestly after we've been sitting here and we're talking about this and this power curve, I think exploring the possibilities of a green-white token list of some sort, or green-white walkers list. Maybe throw a Johnny in there for a high-end curve. Just something ridiculous.
+1/+1 counters. So
yeah, he does. I think that this is a possibility that might be worth looking into, and I think it's going to be quick enough that it might be able to compete with like the black-green and blue-white flash lists. And depending on sideboard tech, you're going to be able to deal with Aetherworks.
Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll see what else is out there. The only other real spoilers I've seen of note, the Disallow seems pretty cool. It's the new 3-drop counterspell. The cool part about it says, counter an activated ability or triggered ability as well.
So you can counter Emrakul or his triggered ability.
Yeah.
Not both. You get to pick one. So you're dealing with an Emrakul or you're dealing with him taking your turn.
Yeah, but I mean, if you really hate Emrakul, you bring 4 summary dismissals and 4 disallows. And then you just say, no, 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 no. Like I said, I think that's pretty cool. The Scrap Heap Trawler, I want to see what that does.
I have plans for this card. I get to talk after you're done.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so this card gets spoiled, and there was some chitter chatter about it, right? If you know me, if you know our local player base, there are times you will hear me talking about the deck Poached Eggs. It is a fun deck. It's a deck I've loved for a very long time now. We've had a gentleman in the past who's played it, Levi, and another gentleman here recently who's been playing it. His name's Connor. Super fun deck. The deck became Poached Eggs after they banned Second Sunrise. And this card made the deck super, super consistent, super aggravating, and that's why they had to ban Second Sunrise. With this new, it's Scrapyard?
I think it's like Scrapyard Trawler or Scrap Heap Trawler or something like that.
With this card, it says whenever it or another artifact dies, bring back an artifact from your graveyard to your hand of lesser CMC. Because Wizards doesn't know how to use correct grammar. But
templating has been weird so far that I've noticed this set. Like the other new mechanic, Inspire, was it? It's not Inspired, but it's something amongst that line of thought. Yeah. But it's Convoke for artifacts. And I hate I just saw the templating for it, and I was like, oh my god, I hate this reminder text. It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
You may tap your artifact to pay for 1 generic mana. Use this only after you've paid mana abilities, or activating mana abilities.
Yeah.
Is this not a mana ability of its own?
Yeah. I mean...
Just copy Convoke and just replace creature with artifact.
Yeah. I think they went a little bit overboard with that one.
I don't know. I think there comes a point, I think, where they just think new Magic players are way too dumb.
Back on track.
I don't know.
Back on track. So this Scrapyard, plus another red enchantment that got spoiled last night, Pia's Revolution.
Yes.
Pia's Revolution. This card is insane. 1 red, 2 colorless. Every time an artifact goes to the graveyard, your opponent can either take 3 damage or that artifact returns to your hand. Now, this puts your opponent in a very awkward situation in Modern, because they're either going to take a bolt to the face or they're going to allow you to get your combo back. Because if you don't know anything about eggs, is they recycle like chromatic stars, chromatic spheres, and other mana rock abilities, and they also use Core Clan Ironworks. Second artifact generate 2 colorless mana, and they use the star and the sphere as their colored mana, so they can siphon their core work, their Ironworks, crystals, and then so on, and generate the mana that they need to. So, and then they generally use like Face Reward or Open the Revolts to get all their artifacts back and do it again, and then they do it again, and then they just kill you. Or they create infinite mana with a Sword Thopter combo, something like that. But old lists used to run Banefire and Grape Shots. Okay? Banefire can't be countered. And Grape Shot, they're not going to be able to counter enough of the spells because Flusterstorm is not a thing in Modern.
Yeah.
So...
pretty much Summary Dismissal? Get rid of all of them on the stack?
I mean, it's super narrow. I guess that is an answer for it now, but like...
I mean, you can.
Generally, the deck does go off on turn 3, so turn 3, turn 4, so it'll be pretty narrow. You're going to have to kind of I think this red enchantment makes eggs more consistent. And I think it gives it the chance to kind of come back into the modern scene. I'm super excited about this. It is a deck.
Obviously.
It is a deck that I love. And to see some support for it, whether it be intentional or unintentional, I'm like a schoolgirl. I'm so happy. I'm giddy.
I mean, alternatively, like I've already mentioned to you, like my idea was for the other red card that got sold. I think it's Quicksmith Genius, maybe something. I don't know. It's a dude that says when he enters the battlefield, it gives the ability to an artifact to say tap and deal 2 damage. As far as long as he's on the battlefield. So I'm thinking, that'd be a great way to tap down Winter Orb.
Yeah, just ping, tap down Winter Orb, allow you to do stuff. Your opponent takes 2 damage, then untap it.
Yeah.
Then they're locked out again.
Yeah, seems good.
Yeah.
Free win red? Legacy? Maybe they run this now? I mean, it's on the clock. Like, it's another win condition, essentially. Like,
you could turn 1 Ancient 2 Winter Orb, turn 2 Mountain this guy.
he's a 4-drop.
No, he's a 3-drop.
I thought it was 4.
I'm pretty sure he's a 3-drop.
Either way, it's not that hard to, like, get a ritual or Seeding Spirit guy.
Pro Mox or something like that.
Something like that to get the 4th mana you need, in addition to playing Chalice and Blood Moon if you really want to.
Sure.
And just lock out your opponent from playing anything.
Yeah. Screw the burner out. We're literally just going to lock you out of the game.
Again, this is what Free Win Red does. They lock you out of the game, so you either scoop, or you just watch me play Magic until I kill you with Chandra or Koth. Or something like that. But now I can kill you with Winter Orb.
Which I find hysterical.
Yeah.
Alright. Needless to say, I'm excited about what we've already seen from the spoilers of this set.
Seems good. Johnny's okay.
I'm not thrilled on the Planeswalkers that we've seen. Now, like I said earlier, Tezzeret graded in Commander.
We haven't seen the actual Tezzeret.
Yeah, but we've not seen like home slice Tezzy.
I mean, what if we see like this weird like Grixis list come out of this with Tezzeret and like the Scrappy Trawler and Pia's Revolution? That'd be flavor fail though. I think Pia's Revolution and Tezzeret working together. But you know, whatever. Who cares?
I mean, do what you gotta do. I think there's a lot of possibilities in this set. I think Wizards of the Coast has been doing a pretty decent job with Kaladesh, with the amount of flexibility that Kaladesh brought to the standard scene. And I'm excited to see that if they can do the exact same thing with Aether Revolt.
I just like they're printing powerful enough cards to make a splash in other formats.
Modern and Legacy.
Yeah, in other formats, not just formats.
Yeah.
That are not just Commander or whatever. Anyways, where was I going with that?
I have no idea.
But at the same time, without printing such broken crap that Standard becomes unplayable.
I agree.
We don't have underpowered level, like underpowered stuff that we don't see in other formats. That's just not really worth picking up, the set if you're only a extended player or whatever that you don't play Standard.
Right.
So with Heart of Kieran or this Gehenny's expertise, I feel like they might be pushing that a little bit, and
I don't know.
We're due up for a Standard banning.
Maybe Heart of Kieran breaks into Modern. Maybe a 2-drop artifact that's a 4/4 makes its way into the scene.
Maybe I play it in my deck.
Maybe you put it in Doubling Walkers.
Because I have more loyalty counters that I don't know what to do with sometimes.
Literally.
My game came in with 24 counters.
Did it really?
I had come in with 18 yesterday.
What the heck, dude?
I had 2 double Caesars that I tried to get in.
That's a bit excessive. Alright, this guy right here played a Gideon, 18 counters. What do? Do you just scoop?
I mean, granted, the reason you scooped at that one was because I had Cameo emblem on board, hence I had the second double season. And then I was like, wait, I'm being dumb, Jace. Let me go get it. Let me go get in here. Let me go get an Evercold win the game.
I'm done.
That's fun.
I'm done with your shenanigans, sir.
If you let Tammy go hold, I win the game, pretty much.
Oh, speaking of which, Bill tried to use Suicide Zoo the other night. It was really funny to watch him try to play that deck.
He doesn't have like magic sometimes. Like if it's not Tron, I don't think he knows how to.
Even if it is Tron, he doesn't know how to play the deck. Are you serious? We're sitting at a freaking GP. We were sitting at a GP Charlotte, actually.
He played against me before, and he's like, what am I doing? I don't know.
We're sitting at GP Charlotte. It is last round, day 2. He has the potential to make it in the money. Because he's sitting at like table, I think he's sitting at like table 87, right? Like he's sitting up at the pretty high tables. Final round, has a Grafdigger's Cage out. He's against junk. Alright?
I thought he had a relic.
No, he had a Relic of Virginia. It's not a Grafdigger's Cage. He had a Relic out. He went 7 turns without activating his Relic, allowing the junk player to fill his graveyard. The junk player cast 2 spirits.
Lingering Souls.
Lingering Souls. Out of his graveyard.
To keep blocking?
To keep blocking because he was playing Bill who's on Tron. So he just keeps bringing out spirits, and Bill's never eating anything out of the graveyard. And I'm just like, what is going on? Are you serious? Then, finally, at the most irrelevant time, Bill cracks it to draw a card. I'm like, why? What are you doing? Like, I was pretty curious with him. I chewed him out.
Alright. But, so enough about that, enough about Bill. I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. Evidently, you need to go help your sister with store.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's kind of after 9.
Oh, well, that's fine.
So,
anyways, it was great. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this evening.
We may be streaming on YouTube now from now on.
Yeah, I think YouTube is just easier, to be honest. We might
That's
just
less work on our end.
Yeah.
We'll just need to dress this channel up a little bit more, I think. And go from there.
We've got a lot of exciting stuff coming forward. We've got a lot of fun events, hopefully at the beginning of the new year. We'll be bringing you guys a lot of fun content.
We do have PPTQ this weekend. We know Jeremy's playing.
Yeah.
I'll see what my schedule's like.
I can't play.
Because he's the TO.
Yeah, I'm a tournament organizer.
Because it's at his store. I might. Again, if I'm off.
Here's an open.
I finally found a deck I like, and that is Blue-Red Dynavolt.
There you go.
I like Burn, evidently. I like Izzet decks, evidently. Maybe I'm an Izzet mage, not Rakdos. I don't know.
Possibly.
Or maybe I'm just Grixis.
There's a first for everything.
I could be Grixis, because I really do like Black.
You could be Nicololis, that's fine. Alright, everyone. Wow. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.